light at the end of the tunnel for parents and teachers. This week, local school districts announced their plans to bring students back to school for in-person learning, starting with the youngest students. This comes after the state announced updated learning plan guidelines last week. The governor's guidance allows elementary schools to return to in-person learning January 18th. Local schools started communicating that information to parents on Monday. These plans are tentative, but here's what is being communicated to parents. The Osseo, Robbinsdale, and Wayzata districts plan to transition pre-K through second grade students to full 5-day in-person learning on Tuesday, January 19th, and then third through fifth graders on February 1st. Plans for middle and high school students differ across districts. In Osseo, secondary students remain in distance learning. Right now, the Robbinsdale district plans to bring back students on January 26. Wayzata schools will look to scale up in-person experiences, but keep students in a hybrid model. Anoka Hennepin schools announced plans last week. We have a roundup of these tentative plans on our website, ccxmedia.org. For the past few years, the Fleet Farm in Brooklyn Park has become something of a food truck mecca. There aren't dozens of food trucks there, but the ones that are there tend to be pretty popular. Delane Cleveland got to check out the latest food truck in the parking lot for today's Takeout Tuesday.
It's so good.
In the Brooklyn Park parking lot of Mills Fleet Farm.
That's when we saw this on Facebook. I said, I'm there. We can't wait.
Is a new dining option that's attracting long lines in cold weather, proving that in certain cases, people will push the limits in exchange for delicious food.
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah, we love it.
It is broasted chicken, courtesy of the Brass Rail. In case you were wondering, broasted chicken is cooked in a pressure fryer where the oil cooks the meat without saturating it.
It's never frozen. We do our own marinating. Taste is the biggest thing, I guess. It's got good flavor.
Rod Knowles owns the Brass Rail, which is a restaurant based in the town of Grandy, roughly 49 minutes north. But like many dining establishments, the pandemic has been a struggle.
Big time. I went from my summers, I was selling 130 cases of chicken a week down to maybe 50. So it's cut my business in half.
To help make up for the loss, Knowles bought this food truck and debuted it here on December 10th to considerable fanfare, selling 40 tubs of chicken in 2 days.
20 each day, and I ran out both days.
If you talk to some of the people in line, it's easy to find out why.
It's fresh, it's hot, crispy, the flavor's amazing, and their coleslaw is to die for. It's so good.
What can I get served for you?
Rod's daughter, Jackie, is the one tasked with filling all of the orders.
A lot of love goes into making this. It's almost a 2-day process just to get the chicken to a broaster.
That love is shared by the hungry customers who patiently brave the cold to get their chicken on the days when the truck camps out. Usually Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Yeah, we don't normally just get it in the summer when we're up north, so, to get it in the winter, this is great.
Knowles certainly appreciates the support.
Well, it makes me feel great that I must be doing something right.
He hopes to continue the operation going through the winter, just as long as people keep supporting and Mills Fleet Farm lets him stay.
For them to allow us to suck up space in their parking lot, and as far as I know, they're not charging us. I haven't heard. But I just want to thank them.
In Brooklyn Park, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
A group of citizens in Osseo decided to do something to bring a little Christmas cheer to their hometown. The annual Mini Dazzle celebration has been canceled. However, just last week, a volunteer decided to organize a parade that will begin at Osseo City Hall and wind its way through most of the city. It begins at 5:15 on Wednesday, December 23rd. Santa will be there, of course, but also elves, the Grinch, and other Christmas collaborators that are sure to bring a smile to your face.
Just to see smiles on the little kids that are so bored now these days with the COVID and staying home and not getting to see their friends, and just to see smiles on everybody's face and keep social distancing at the same time.
Elizabeth says everyone pitched in on short notice. You're asked to stay with your family and remember to social distance and wear your mask. We'll leave you with a map of the parade route. If you want to learn more, just go to the Discover Osseo page on Facebook before the parade rolls on Wednesday night at 5:15. Here's a local connection we just found out about. Students from St. Alphonsus Catholic School in Brooklyn Center created the ornaments for Minnesota's tree in President's Park at the White House. The Minnesota tree is one of 56 state and territory trees that surround the national Christmas tree. Each tree has ornaments designed by students. St. Alphonsus students put an emphasis on Minnesota being the land of 10,000 lakes. This year, several ornaments are also displayed inside the White House. The lights come on every day at sunset in Washington, D.C. until New Year's Day. And finally, we have so much beauty right in our own neighborhood if we'll only look for it. We'll leave you with some beauty from out at Crystal Lake in Robbinsdale from before the snow flies. It takes an inch of snow to have a white Christmas, and as of Tuesday, we're supposed to get that. Enjoy the scenery from Crystal Lake.
A legendary wrestling family in the area is hoping to continue an impressive streak if there is a state high school tournament this season. Jay Wilcox has their story.
They are hoping there is a state wrestling tournament this season to continue an amazing streak. A Drogemueller has coached in, wrestled in, or both for what's believed to be 55 straight tournaments dating to the mid-1960s. It started with the late Ken Drogemueller, who was a Division II All-American at Mankato State and started coaching in Worthington in the 60s, before spending the bulk of his Hall of Fame career at Osseo. Sons Dave and Darren each won 2 state titles before wrestling at Nebraska. Dave's son Weston qualified for 6 state tournaments for Wayzata, while Darren's sons Dalton and Dylan excelled at Champlain Park and then Anoka for Dylan, who won 171 high school matches and was an NCAA qualifier for North Dakota State as a freshman last season. Longtime Wayzata assistant and former head coach Dave joined Ken in the Minnesota Hall of Fame this fall, which led him to compile some family numbers.
You know, everybody's kind of like, well, what was your record? What'd you do this? How, you know, and then it kind of came up to, holy cow, you know, my family's been doing this a long time at all levels, and generations have succeeded and even done better than you know, maybe we did. So it was pretty fun. It was cool.
The third generation guys are proud to be Drogemuellers, but admit it came with some pressure.
When I was younger, I put some extra pressure on myself to uphold that standard, or maybe I thought I needed to achieve certain things because of the successors in my family. But I think as I've gotten older, I've just recognized that, you know, I'm kind of making this career my own, you know, and just adding to the legacy, I guess.
I would say there was a little bit of pressure, and I think a lot of people knew my last name, and maybe I had a little bit of a target on my back, if you will. Some people, I've met a lot of guys after the fact that I'm not competing anymore. They'd be like, you know, you were a Drogemueller and you won all these matches, and I hated you, you know.
A non-wrestler deserves some credit for the family run, too.
The secret of all of it was my mom. She was a coach's wife in the early years. She was a mom and a wrestler's mom, which cannot be easy to do, especially when, you know, back in the 70s, 80s, we were intense.
For Darren, the championships and records are nice, but the long-lasting impact of the sport goes beyond that.
You look at, what did the sport teach you? What did you get out of it? The dedication, the hard work, the perseverance, the goal setting, when things aren't going your way, you better figure out a way to make it happen. You know, those types of things.
Beyond the run of state appearances, the Drogemueller numbers are impressive. 19 times qualifying for state as wrestlers, with 4 championships and 12 times placing. 31 times appearing at state as coaches. 746 wins as wrestlers, not counting Ken's total. and 10 Hall of Fame inductions. Wayzata should have a very good team this season, if and when there is a season. And to miss out on a state wrestling tournament would be a big blow, but COVID-19 is a formidable foe.
I'm hoping we have a season for the kids' sake, not for me. I'm going to lead my life whether we do or don't. Do we want a state tournament? Yeah. I mean, for the experience of the kids, we were blessed with it. You know, Darren wrestled in 5 of them. Weston wrestled in 6 of them. I wrestled in 5 of them. And when I started looking at the stats, some people work their whole lives and don't get to wrestle in any of them.
For all of the Drogemuellers, they're missing the guy who started the wrestling tradition, father and grandfather Ken, who passed away in 2007.
His spirit's around, and we know that he has a hand, and he's probably up in heaven, you know, I'm going to say having a Pabst Blue Ribbon with Woody Ferry right now.
Thanks, Jay. For more sports stories, please visit our website at ccxmedia.org. Thanks for watching. I'm John Jacobson.